In 1988, I was an up-and-coming young executive filled with male energy. So my role today is to stimulate your creative juices, because you're going to have 5 hours together, and that's fantastic. It's wonderful so many people from the XCOM are here. It's wonderful you're all here. Calling gender a woman's issue is kind of like calling slavery a black issue. It's just ridiculous. It's about humanness. Issues, by the way, I don't know if it translates in every country in the world, but an issue is a way of using language to disempower someone. Oh, mon Dieu, he has an issue, all right? Be careful of your language, thought, language, action. These are doors to mindset. There's a real privilege in being a coach, working with the Global Coaching Group. You get to meet people and you get to see inside of people because they open up to you, because it's a private, one-on-one situation. The value is that the person, the coach, is outside the system. So sometimes they can see more clearly. You get to see people without masks on. Social masks come off. And what I see is that there are feminine and masculine traits in people, in everyone, but we don't develop them. We're socialized not to in some cases. What I've noticed is that most men want to share power, that they don't quite know how. So someone has to help them. People in general that are pretty good at it. That would be women. Salesforce and pay equity is a stunning example. I think the World Economic Council said it'll take 118 years, is that correct, to get pay equity? 118 years. Salesforce thought that was ridiculous, so they just said, let's just do it. They reviewed 17,000 employees, and they decided to pay everyone equally. It cost them $3 million. It was taken care of in 6 months. Bold idea, simple execution.
I was always struggling with is that a lot of women's initiatives, and I like the name too of this one, by the way, it's gender balance, but a lot of women's initiatives always focused on helping women through mentoring and other training programs, right? And I think what you've brought to the forefront with this talk is that it needs all of us, right? It's not just a women's thing that women need to develop and be mentored and lean in more. We all need to work on it together. We need to build the bridges. I fully agree. It can't be a fight, but we're
actually been proven, and the sociologist at Harvard, Frank Dobbin, has studied this extensively, and the way that most companies have been doing it, which you've just articulated, not only does it not work, it actually makes things worse, because the men feel like they're being blamed when most men just a little bit confused. That's all. They don't fully understand. What kind of signals, stories, and symbols are you going to send out into the organization from your conversation this afternoon? Some of you are sitting on brilliant ideas. I know this because it's a big room. There's got to be 3 or 4 really, really incredible ideas. Now's the time to share them.
I also wanted to join my colleagues in thanking you. I think you have really been touching our hearts. I remember, 9 months ago, a discussion we had together where I was telling you how important it is, the authenticity. To be, leader, woman leader, we do not need to replicate the man archetype to be successful. And that's the day I really understood that was the day I understood I could be myself, and that's where I would be the most powerful. So thank you just for raising the awareness and also make us just, being authentic leaders, whether we're men or women, that's the most important, and that's how we really will build and grow together. So thank you very much, Sean.
You're welcome. Something I was just reflecting on when you were talking a little bit, and I was listening, what I've noticed that happens with senior leaders along the way sometimes, men and women, is it's a tough climb. in the game. We all know this. And sometimes you give up a little bit each step. And by the time you get to the top, you forget who you are. And if you forget who you are, how can anyone else know you? Yeah? That's kind of what you made me think about there.